All right, and the news just coming in, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that he has decided to impose reciprocal tariffs on trading partners, something that we were expecting. He has claimed that U.S. allies are often worse than our enemies, I'm quoting here, on trade. U.S. President also acknowledged that prices could go up as a result of sweeping tariffs that he was imposing on a number of allies and competitors. Talking to reporters at the White House, Donald Trump said that prices could go up, but did express confidence that inflation, which is a key issue, would ultimately go down. Trump on Thursday rolled out his plan to increase U.S. tariffs to match the tax rates that other countries charge on imports. The announcement may possibly trigger a broader economic confrontation with allies and rivals alike. So this is what we're getting right now, something that we were expecting. Trump has now slapped reciprocal tariffs, and this was rolled out to increase U.S. tariffs to match the tax rates on other countries. And he said that I've decided for purpose of fairness that I will charge a reciprocal tax. It's fair to all. No other country can complain. These are Trump's words. Now, Trump's Republican administration has insisted that these new tariffs would level the playing field between U.S. manufacturers and foreign competitors. All right. However, some analysts are of the opinion that these tariffs could easily backfire on Trump if the agenda pushes up inflation. However, Trump is of the opinion that inflation, which was a key election issue as well, will ultimately go down. All right. For more on this, we're also now being joined by our correspondent Susan Tehrani on the phone line. Susan, thank you so much for joining us. We were expecting this. Trump has slapped reciprocal tariffs. Susan, he says that this will level the playing field, and for the purpose of fairness, that reciprocal tariff has been imposed and it's fair to all and that no other country can complain. Of course, Susan, do you think that is going to be the case?
We'll have to wait and see, considering the fact that usually the prices of tariffs go back to the consumer and the consumer pays a higher price. But it would be customized for each country, according to what we're hearing from reports, with the partial goal of ultimately starting trade negotiations. So it may be a negotiating tactic for now, which can be pulled back. But other nations might also feel the need to respond with their own tariff increases on American goods. And so Trump may need to find ways of assuring consumers here at home and businesses as well that growth to counteract any uncertainty from possible fallout for his tariff is ultimately possible.
Right, absolutely, Susan. Also, I just wanted to know if we have any more information on the partners that these reciprocal tariffs have been imposed upon, and what are likely to be the near-term consequences of the same as well.
So the possible tax increases on imports and exports could be large compared to the comparatively modest tariffs that Donald Trump has imposed, notably during his first term. We'll have to wait and see what some countries react to. We just got this report and Donald Trump just signed this executive order. So depending on how other countries react, then we'll get a better understanding on what the first steps are. For example, trade in goods between Europe and the United States are $1.3 trillion. That was last year. And then, you have with other countries as well that the neighboring countries that are a lot more than that. So how these countries want to respond, for example, the European Union, is it going to be country by country? Is it going to be the whole bloc? Those are questions that we need answers to. And again, is he going to pull these back as a negotiating tactic, or are they really going to go ahead?
Absolutely. And of course, we have to mention that the timing of this is very interesting as well. We know that President Trump and Prime Minister Modi are set to meet in a short while from now. You were discussing earlier how trade and tariffs are going to be a big issue on the agenda as well. We did hear the Trump administration earlier say that the United States has been the target of unfairly high tariffs. Do you think that these issues will come up during discussions?
Absolutely. Tariffs and trade are such an important part of these discussions between Prime Minister Modi and Donald Trump. And we have to bear in mind that ultimately, while there will be some concessions, how far the United States wants India to go is the main question. Prime Minister Modi plans to offer economic incentives. As we mentioned, he wants to increase purchase of U.S. liquefied natural gas combat vehicles and jet engines, but he also seeks in return America's support to address tariffs imposed on Indian steel, aluminum, and other goods.
All right. Well, Susan, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on this. Of course, what the implications of this will be, that's something that remains to be seen. Of course, we do hear some analysts say that the tariffs would likely hurt growth this year, just as the extended tax cuts could help growth recover in 2026. Of course, we're still analyzing the impact of this, but thank you so much for getting us the latest on this for now. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.